on world and state news, Wren went about her business. She lifted the heavy down jacket that had once belonged to her father from the coat tree in the corner, shrugged into it, pulled on the worn leather gloves she took from the pocket. The storm moving through the Trans-Pecos is expected to worsen late tonight, plunging temperatures to an all-time record low, the announcer warned. Bring the pets and plants inside, and don't drive if at all possible. This is a night to curl up by the fire with a cup of hot cocoa and a good book. Now that sounded like Wren's idea of a perfect Friday night. The icy wind wailed like a mournful banshee around the wooden doorframe, chasing a chill down Wren's spine. If it weren't for the cattle, she'd make sure the door was locked tight, crawl inside her four-poster bed, and take the radio announcer's advice. But the cows had to be milked, and she was the only one to do it. Here goes nothing. She rested her hand on the knob at the same time a knock barked at the door. The sudden noise reverberated in the room like a gunshot blast. Startled, Wren jumped and jerked her hand back. Her stomach churned, and her chest tightened. Pressing a palm to her mouth, she waited, prayed it was just a tree branch breaking loose and slamming against the side of the house. She waited. The knock came again, denying any fanciful explanations. Someone was at her door. Who could be visiting in this storm? An eerie sensation lifted the hairs at the nape of her neck. She didn't get many guests out this far from town. Her pastor, some of the little old ladies from her church, one or two teacher friends from the high school, that was about it. In Rascal, she was known as the kooky, crippled spinster who lived all alone on her aging dairy farm, and who, at the naive age of 19, had once been swindled by a charming con man. Even now, 10 years later, Wren blushed at the memory of Blaine Thomas and her youthful mistake. She'd been lonely and vulnerable after her parents' deaths. Easy pickings for the likes of smooth, butter wouldn't melt in his mouth, Blaine. He'd used flattery and compliments to make her feel loved when he'd only been after her money. She'd almost lost the farm because of her foolishness, and she'd sworn never again to trust a handsome man. The knock was bolder, more insistent the third time. Who could it be? She cocked her head and struggled to muster enough courage to answer the door. Maybe it was a neighbor in distress. You can't leave someone standing out in this storm, she scolded herself. And yet, a snake of fear winding around her heart kept her rooted firmly to the floor. Wren placed her hands over her ears. Go away, go away, go away. Is anyone home? The voice was strong, masculine, demanding. It sharpened Wren's dread. I need help. Too readily, she recalled those terrifying moments 11 years ago. In the wee hours of the morning, she had found herself in a similar situation, dragging her wounded body from door to door, begging people to let her in, while her parents' mangled car lay overturned on an icy street. She had practically crawled on her crumpled, bleeding leg, and she'd gone to 3 houses before a kind, elderly couple had finally opened their door to her. Please. That single word rent her heart and snuck past her defenses as nothing else would have. What if this man needed her as badly as she'd needed assistance that awful night her parents died? Resolutely, she put the chain on the door, then edged it open a tiny crack. A streak of lightning illuminated the ebony sky, highlighting the figure on her porch. A hulking stranger loomed in the darkness.